Hey everyone, welcome to the Good Place Bench here at Amare during the Cities in Placemaking gathering hosted by Placemaking Europe. Thanks for inviting us to host interviews here with mayors or vice mayors of 12 cities in Europe. So we feel honored that we are allowed to interview those kind of type of people because that doesn't happen every day. Next to me is Jakub. Please introduce yourself so people know who you're representing.
First of all, honor is mine, of course. My name is Jakub Mazur. I'm Deputy Mayor in Wrocław. This is the third largest city in Poland. Nearly 1 million population nowadays, many immigrants, wonderful city. Feel invited, of course.
That's a good opener of. I've never heard of your city before, so that's one mission accomplished. As you know, today we're here at Cities in Placemaking because 12 cities are here to sign an agenda around embracing placemaking in their own city, but also as part of fighting urban challenges. What are your expectations of today or for today, and what are you hoping? What are you looking forward to most?
You know, days like this is like cherry on a cake because we are trying to sum up some events. It's been nearly 2 years that we've been working on an agenda of placemaking. But for my city, the very old city, it's been like forever because we've been always thinking the way of placemaking processes, engaging inhabitants, NGOs, top down, bottom up. So it's kind of exchange between mayors, but moreover experts who are in charge on daily basis work to provide the best solutions, best examples, how to improve quality of life in our cities for our inhabitants, for those who are creating the city. It includes immigrants. You know, the city of mine is welcoming about 200,000 immigrants from Ukraine. So last year's it changes everything. It provides the different way of thinking about strategy, but also about policies that we are willing to implement. And placemaking, as a holistic idea, brings values. So first of all, I would say it's kind of responsibility. So how to put in order things that we are doing or we've been doing for many, many years, but how to feel responsible on every stage, on the stage of mayor, but also on the stage of newcomer who is just entering the city as an inhabitant, and feel happy for another 20, 40, 50 years, next generations, to co-create the city in a way that we can afford on one hand, but we cannot lose the opportunity to change something or preserve the spaces that we've been creating. You know, the city as Wrocław has 1,000 years history, so it's easy to spoil it or to make a mistake that will remain with us for another hundreds of years. So our obligation and responsibility is to create good spaces.
And what is a good space then? Which is a good topic on a good place bench to talk about good spaces. I mean, is a good space a public space? I would love to hear more about that.
It should be public spaces. You know, with big cities, we have density of population. We have newcomers. We have lack of affordability, lack of quality of life. We have many demands coming from our inhabitants that are aware that they can demand. So, from perspective of mayor, I feel obliged to think in a strategic way ahead, so in 20, 30 years ahead, to create, together with those who are living in or potentially can live in the future, a good space. What is it? This is the example of good space, because we hear the music coming from younger, older, working 24 hours a day, probably, in fact, most of days during the week. So this is the good space because it was established with some thought, with idea. And this thought is bringing people together.
Right.
from many countries, not only from the city of The Hague, but also from those who, as me, I'm first time here and I'm delighted. But this time, kind of public space as also related with huge capex. So you need to have 100 million euro to invest at the beginning, and then 10 million each year to support, and then another 10 to for employees. So we are trying to concentrate on differentiation. So apart from spaces like this, how to change streets. So we have program from roads to streets. Streets are for people, for you, for me. Parks that are not only places with trees and benches that nobody enters, but full of people, full of life, full of events that are provided not only by the city, because it's easy. Once you spend money, then you have nothing. It's to how to engage local communities to co-create. And once you have it, it will last for another generation. It is about how to make us wealthier and happier and also healthier. So how to make us not only to look at the phone as you do, but also how to take a walk. So you need a walk site with some attraction, with greenery that provides shadow. Maybe not in Hague because it's raining mostly, isn't it? But definitely, yeah.
You need a roof on your public bench.
Oh, maybe not a roof, maybe a tree, maybe something that provides a quality that calms down in a public. But it is about people.
Exactly.
How to create this special bond from mayor to regular inhabitant, from the municipality clerk to some kind of investor. How to provide this mix of mindsets that are willing to be responsible for the place, to support it, not only with money, but also with presence, with activity, with some kind of, the spirit, the atmosphere that can be provided only by humans.
And you want people to stay, right? In Wroclaw, you don't want them to go elsewhere. So you need to create that good place for them. This already very much sounds like an agenda in itself, right? For Wroclaw in general. Is it already in place? Is it already happening in your city?
Yeah. Yes, of course, and we are trying, to also watching some Dutch cities, some examples coming from Hague, from Amsterdam, but also from our sister city, city of Breda. So we are trying to avoid the mistakes that been done here. It is about spatial planning. It is about urbanism. It is about how to put traffic. It is about how to establish and where and when and how public institutions like schools, kindergartens, like shopping centers to make it livable, to make it really attractive for those who are working. And of course, we have idea from perspective of Wrocław of complete districts. To make it, in Paris is 15 minutes or 5 minutes, but we have complete because it's more about humans. It is not only logistics only. No. It is about relations that you establish. So it provides longer life, healthier life, and well-being. You can call it in many dimensions, but we know it. That especially when we try to preserve those spaces, that it's easy to have approval for another skyscraper and high buildings. Not anymore, because strategically we know our capacity, we know our ability how to grow in a sustainable but reasonable way. And the same, the present inhabitant is always enemy to newcomer, and we have a lot of newcomers, so it's always like a fight, because the present one, they want to improve the quality of public spaces and not to, let's say, for housing, not to dedicate those plots and spaces to new houses that are needed in every big city. But in our terms, we try to make a some compromise between new and old one. And of course, as you asking mayors, you know, there are from time to time there are elections. So it's better to, you know, to start this discussion at the beginning of turn than at the end.
So you have time to.
Yes, so we are at the beginning, so we are very accessible to have this reasonable but also very respectful discussion.
And Jakub, as a citizen of Wroclaw, what are you most proud of when it comes to public space? What is something what you really enjoy when being in the city?
You know, I live in the city center, and I'm very proud of the, let's say, the waterfront opening, because we used to be German city, and 8 years ago it was totally full of. Was the third biggest German city. Now it's the third Polish city, but we consider ourselves as Europeans. So I'm proud of the spirit and this heritage that we really take care of. So we do proud of everything that is happening in the city since 1,000 years. We used to be Czech, Austrian, French, Hungarian. So it is Europe. It is true Europe, and I'm proud of this. But when we are talking about spaces, I'm very proud that we opened the rivers. We have more than 100 bridges. We have 4 big rivers. So the cities on islands in the city center. You will see once you come. And I'm proud that we opened this, and it's really beautiful. And I'm living by the river, and I see it, and I see how we change the buildings that used to be hospitals or public service centers that are not in use anymore, and something magnificent in architecture, the places of beauty. So there are places and spaces of beauty that we have it. And also we have lots of investment in greenery. For instance, the plazas that we used to have in our cities, we change into gardens with events, with benches like this, but also with life. With it is not, especially when we observe, you know, lots of sunshine because of climate change during the summer. It's impossible to spend time in an open space in the city. So we change it into gardens, into parks, and this is the space and place that suits and benefits to everyone.
We should get a good place bench in that park. Jakub, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Such a pleasure.
And wishing you a great day today during Cities in Placemaking.
Thank you very much.
All the best.
Such a pleasure.